I'm in love with this Ohio State defense, if you couldn't tell already. I actually like them more, and I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. I like the Ohio State defense more than I like the Ohio State offense. Na 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 na, hey, na 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 na, hey, na 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 na, hey, na 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 na. Hey, what's going on, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It is time for no other than the Little Bro Ohio State versus Oregon preview. We got a top 3 matchup on our hands. Not too many times you'll be able to say that throughout the college football season. And you know what? I'm feeling good. So if y'all want to see another preview video tonight, let's get this video to, in the first hour or two, let's say 500 likes. I can't even remember the last time we done a like goal on the channel. It had to be over a year ago, so hey, why not? We'll do it. There's a bunch of other great previews we gotta get into, so I'll decide which one we shall do tonight if we meet the like goal. Because it lets me know you guys want to see it. If you don't want to see it, well, we'll just do it tomorrow. Anyways, like I was saying, this game is so important, it gets its own entirely separate preview, rightfully deserved. Real quick, before we get into the Little Bro State and Oregon preview, I've had a few people request this one, and this is gonna be a sneaky good game in my humble opinion. USC and Penn State. Reminder, USC was ranked, wasn't it last week, 11th in the nation, and they went from 11th to outside the top 25. So if they would have beat Minnesota, this would have easily been a top 10 matchup. But USC lost, and as where it stands right now, Penn State is a 4.5-point favorite. Similar to Oregon and OSU, I tell you what, man, we're really going to find out just how good Penn State is in this ball game. I don't think USC is all too great. However, I think they're a good team still, in my humble opinion. So it's going to be interesting to see what Penn State can do. Are they going to wet the bed, or are they going to prove they're the 4th best team in the nation? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Y'all know how I feel about Penn State. They're completely irrelevant until they beat Michigan or Ohio State. And yeah, they've started out the season 5-0, much respect to them, but their best wins against Illinois, and although I think they're a solid team, they're nothing too crazy. This is a road game, so it's at the Coliseum, and I believe without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, USC has a better quarterback. I know Miller Moss may mess up and throw an interception or two, but he'll make up for it. Drew Allar and Penn State, they just play football like it's the 1990s, man. It is so boring to watch. And that's why they win the games they're supposed to, and they can't win the big ones because they play not to lose. They're going to try to ground and pound USC, but I just want to see how that Penn State defense is going to hold up against that USC offense. I know USC just lost to Minnesota, but I don't think Penn State's offense can keep up with USC's. You can say what you want about Lincoln Riley. We all agree he's one of the biggest frauds in the nation, but he's an offensive mastermind and guru. He will put up points, and that USC defense isn't horrendous like we've seen in the past. They're not good, but they're not horrendous. I like USC in this game, man. I do. I think that defense is going to force a couple turnovers, and they outscore Penn State. I'll take the Trojans 30, and let's go with, I was going to say 35, but no. Let's go with USC 31, Penn State 28. I think it's going to be close. I hate to even label that as a big-time upset because I don't think it's insane to say, but yeah, I guess it is because they are a top 5 team and USC is unranked. I would love to talk about that some more, but we got to move on to the main reason you clicked onto this video. Ohio State and Oregon. I have no idea what the line is for this game. I know it's in Eugene, Oregon. I still expect Ohio State to be favored, and hold on, pulling it up. Yep. Ohio State is favored by 3 points. These are 2 of the most intriguing teams inside the top 10 due to the main fact they haven't played anybody. Ohio State has by far the easiest schedule I've ever seen through 5 games. They start out with Akron, Western Michigan, Marshall, Michigan State, and Iowa. All those teams suck. On the flip side for Oregon, they struggled with the fighting potato wedges in week 1. We talked all about that. Then they barely beat Boise State by a field goal, 37-34 in week 2. Take care of business against Oregon State, UCLA, Michigan State, but it wasn't insanely impressive. And I guess you could say the Boise State win looks better now, but it's still Boise State, and you know what I'm talking about. They're okay, but my point is in all of this, Oregon, and I think their fans would even attest to this, they didn't look good against Boise. And one of Oregon's biggest problems in week 1 and week 2 was the offensive line. However, if you've been watching some of the recent games, the O-line, they've picked it up a little bit. They're starting to come around and look like that offensive line we thought we was going to see to start the season. And hey, maybe that's all they needed was a couple games of gel. I guess we'll wait and see because we'll really find out how good that Oregon offensive line is against OSU. Outside of that, Dylan Gabriel's still doing Gabriel. I know he's pushing 30, but he is still one of the better quarterbacks in the nation. But last week, he had not 1 but 2 interceptions inside the red zone. You do that against Ohio State, you're not going to win, buddy. He's got to take better care of the football, and I'd like to think he will in this game. On the flip side of the ball for Oregon's defense, similar to the offensive line, they've gotten better as the season has progressed. But it goes back to this, you haven't played anybody, and the one team that had a good offense in Boise State, they put up 34 points. We're going to find out a lot about Oregon's offense and defense in this matchup. That's enough about Oregon. On the flip side for Little Bro State, Similar situation outside of they have looked better than Oregon, but they haven't played anybody. You could critique their schedule all you want. I've done that plenty enough. I've seen other people do it. I've even seen Ohio State fans do it. With that being said, though, unlike Oregon, their counterpart in this matchup, they've looked good. Offenses look good, and the defense. Sure, they got off to a slow start in the first half against Iowa, but don't have recency bias. The other 4 games, they've been just fine. Will Howard, good. Running backs, good. O-line, good. The entire offense look good. And you didn't think I was going to forget about Jeremiah Smith, did you? Come on, man. On the flip side of the ball, Ohio State's defense, really good. And that's been the one thing I've been disappointed in Ohio State the past 3, 4, 5 years, is the lack of intensity on defense and the lack of pride they have in their defense. Because when I was growing up, I'm talking about many years ago, early 2000s, Ohio State was known as this hard-nosed, physical team on defense, not offense. The offense was just fine, but Ohio State was known for having those hard-hitting linebackers. You didn't play Ohio State and expect to put up 30 points like it was nothing. The past few years, it's been that way. But last year, it seemed like they turned a page in their book, and they was like, you know what, we're sick and tired of giving up 30 per game. Let's turn it up a notch. And for me, when I think about Ohio State and I talk about them, I don't immediately just think, oh yeah, they want to win a shootout. No. They can rely on their defense, believe it or not. Times have changed up in Columbus, Ohio. Do not sleep on their defense. They're one of my favorite defenses in the nation, by the way. I say all that to say this. For the most part this year, offense has been good and consistent, and the defense has been good and consistent. I can't harp on this enough, though. The only knock, and I know people are even going to write it in this comment section, is that they haven't played anybody, and I understand. But, and I have a really ginormous but, you better believe this, Oregon hasn't played anybody. And they haven't looked as good as Ohio State, you see what I'm saying? Up until this point in the season, Ohio State has looked like the way better ball club than Oregon, and it's not even close. And my big problem with Ohio State is I think they're good, but I just don't know how good they are because, and I'm going to sound like a broken record player here, they haven't played anybody. This game Saturday, though, will be telling us a lot. I think you got 2 good teams going at it. How good they are, we'll have to wait and see. Whenever you have a game like this and it seems even on paper, and I think it is, you could argue and say that Ohio State is slightly more talented than Oregon, but it's not by much. But like I was saying, when it's close on paper, talent for talent, you immediately got to look at the quarterback position. Who has a better quarterback? Because more times than not, the team with the better quarterback or the better performing quarterback is going to walk away with a win. I don't want to say I don't trust Dillon Gabriel, but he has a strong tendency to put the ball in harm's way more than you'd like to see. And all it takes against Ohio State is one mistake, and you're cooked. That's all it takes. For Ohio State, Will Howard is not the most accurate quarterback I've ever seen, and he can make some mistakes. I've been going back and forth with this for a while, but when it comes to the quarterback position, I think it's 1A, 1B. Almost every position group, I mean, it is talent for talent. They're right there with one another. So for that reason alone, my X factor is not even a quarterback in this game. You want to know what it is? It's Ohio State's defense. I don't believe Oregon's defense is going to stop Ohio State. They may be able to hold them to, and this is best case scenario, 24, 28 points. But that's best case scenario. I think this game comes down to Ohio State's defense. There's a young man that goes by the name of Jack Sawyer, and if you don't know his name, you'll learn it on Saturday. I have a hard time believing that Oregon O-line, although they look improved, are going to slow him down. I think Jack Sawyer is going to wreak havoc. And I think there's a couple other players on that Ohio State front 7 that are going to wreak havoc and cause havoc. And this Ohio State secondary is not a secondary that Dillon Gabriel wants to test. They got Caleb Downs from Alabama, and he is due for a big-time play and interception. Denzel Burke, I'll leave you with this. Do not throw the ball his way. I'm in love with this Ohio State defense, if you couldn't tell already. I actually like them more, and I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth. I like the Ohio State defense more than I like the Ohio State offense. They're going to be the difference makers in this ballgame, and Dillon Gabriel, it ain't going to be a good day for him. Unfortunately for Oregon, if you want to beat Ohio State, Gabriel's got to have a good performance. I don't see it happening. I don't. I like Ohio State's defense more, and I actually like their offense a little bit more as well. So with that being said, you know where I'm going with this. Obviously, I'm taking Little Bro State in this ballgame. Give me D, Little Bro, 35 to Oregon's 21. Buckeyes looking good this year. I'm liking this team. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below about that.